One of the earliest scholars of critical literacy is Paulo Freire, who in a seminal text, The Pedagogy of the Oppressed, initiated conversations around critical literacy, which we now see as a social construction of reading, writing, and text production, within contexts of economic, cultural, political, and educational inequality. We are what we say and do. Communication takes many forms, including forms of social and political action that can be used to influence people and can lead to social change. Contemporary understanding of critical literacy is about reading the world to understand the social and historical factors that influence social injustices. Bishop's 5 core principles are seen as transformative elements in critical pedagogy. They are to encourage learners to be social actors with knowledge and skills to disrupt the commonplace, to conduct research interrogating multiple viewpoints on an issue, to identify socio-political realities in the context of learners' lives, to participate in social justice actions outside the classroom, and to reflect upon actions and create innovative projects for the future. With these transformative elements in mind, I now share a research project conducted with final year education students who were challenged to develop innovative pedagogical interventions to decolonize their curriculum and to understand and disrupt stereotypical views of difference. The digital storytelling module, in which students created digital stories about their own lives, aimed to raise their awareness of systemic inequalities inherent in South African society, and to explore how they intentionally or unintentionally reproduced social injustices in their own lives. The Philosophy for Children module, in which students worked in groups to experience a process of collaborative inquiry, investigated forms of classroom discourse that enabled respectful, reasoned engagement with difference. The Academic Literature module looked at literature that addresses human difference and encouraged the students to locate their own lived experiences within a wider societal and international context. Their journey through the 3 modules gave the students an increased sense of belonging. They were able to see each other not as the other, but just as human as themselves. Close effective connections grew between the students as they established their communities of practice, providing a much-needed exemplar of transformation in higher education. In the digital storytelling module, after first negotiating their rules of engagement, the students were able to risk being vulnerable. Sensitive issues were given a safe space to emerge. The module involved mixed groups, each with a trained facilitator. The students were challenged to disrupt their own stereotypical views of their single stories and to identify their own biases. This focus on shared emotions and lived experiences was powerful. In some cases, promoted personal healing. In these ways, the students were empowered to develop and practice specific thinking and reasoning skills. Although they had been together for the past 3 years, it appeared that they had had few experiences of reasoning together about their opinions in a safe environment where disagreement was valued. If our students are not thinkers themselves, how can they be expected to encourage thinking skills in the children and young people with whom they will be working? In their communities of inquiry, everyone mattered. Everyone was encouraged to raise questions and to use both reason and imagination. Participants were empowered to explore their own and each other's beliefs and contribute to the learning of the group as a whole. The literature review module in particular enabled the students to realize that their lived experiences were similar to many other people's in different parts of the world. Within the safe spaces of their communities of practice, they learned how to disrupt commonplace views and challenge their own and each other's assumptions and beliefs. Reaching beyond common sense and dominant narratives to envision a new space, they were able to move from an individualized to a systemic understanding of difference. The result has been a productive juxtaposition of research, teaching, and lived experiences.